we can talk about the all-star version of this shoe.
Why, what's up with the all-star version?
Oh, nobody likes it, but I like the little pink
Wait, are
swoosh.
those the khaki ones?
Yes.
Them ugly,
Can
man.
you say khaki again? You sound like Jake from State Farm.
What are you wearing right now? Khakis. Hey, what's good, guys? This is Chris from WearTesters.com. Welcome to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel, the only YouTube channel where you come for the review and stay for the conversation. Today, we have a performance review, surprisingly enough, on these bad boys right here. These are the Nike PG3s. Now, I just want to preface this with a quick thing. Like I was thinking about this last night, where I was talking to my friend Aldwin. We were talking about some of our favorite Kobes. When I first started playing with them, I was playing in the Kobe 4, and I was like, yo, it's been so long that I've been playing with y'all that the Kobe 4 is retroing, right? Like, that's so wild to think. And same thing with the YouTube space. Been in this space for 10 years, so long that an original review that I've done that's getting a retro, which is just weird. Off of a brand that's not a retro per se brand. Doing it on Jordans is different, right? They're kind of like a legacy brand. They're not like a pushing things forward brand like they used to be, sorry. But we were talking about our favorite Kobes, and we were all pretty much unanimous on the fact that the Kobe 6 is like our favorites to play in. And it was funny because I was telling him how much I hated that shoe when I first, it took me a while to break them in, and the insole to mold to your foot to get perfect heel lockdown, perfect fit all the way around, the traction needed to break in. I absolutely hated that shoe, and it turned into one of a all-time favorite of mine.
Now
It's the same thing, man. It's like history repeating itself, yo. It's just I hated these the first night, hated them. The second night I was like, it's a little bit better. The next night, okay, I think I like these. The next night, these are beasts. It was so weird, but it was the same exact thing. Is so strange to me. And sometimes that happens. That's why you should never, ever, 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 ever do a performance review on one wear, which is the very popular thing to do right now. Just saying. But anyways, these guys right here have the moon landing pattern on the outsole right here, and it's a mixture between a little bit of solid rubber, but mostly clear. My very first night on these, just horrible experience, from the traction all the way up to the fit. Even the cushion sucked. Everything was just bad. However, the longer that I played in these things, everything broke in so nicely. I don't know if you're even gonna be able to see this. Can you see this in the monitor? Can you see dirt?
yes.
Oh, really? Okay. I'm not playing on clean floors, all right? It sucks. And it did not matter after they broke in what floor I was on, the traction worked really, really well. So I can only imagine that the solid rubber versions are even better. I'm just saying that this, for translucent rubber, this was surprising, because normally translucent is slick. If you wear these and you are disappointed at first, just stick with them. Trust me. Now, the cushion is another aspect where when I first wore them, I was just kind of like, yo, I thought that they said that the sole was softer, and I love the cushion on the PG2s. Some people don't, which is surprising, because I thought that the PG2s were awesome. I think it's mostly the 2.5s that people are wearing, so I don't know if there was a change in the midsole mixture or whatever, for the foam compound, but for whatever reason, some people do not like the PG 2.5s, even though it's the same exact tooling as the PG2s, which I really enjoyed. And again, the cushion here, 4-foot Zoom Air, not quite unlocked, but kind of. They've cored out so that it can move and all that stuff, so it's like a piston underneath your foot. And the very first night, again, just firm. Very firm. That's the only way that I could describe it, and almost to the point of being uncomfortable. However, once you started really wearing these and breaking them in, I don't know if you'll be able to see this in the B-roll, but there's a lot of compression lines all throughout the midsole here. That's a good thing. I know that a lot of people don't like the way that looks, but when you see compression lines in midsoles, that means that you're getting what you're paying for. You're getting the cushion that you want. The midsole foam here is lighter than the PG2s, definitely lighter than the PG1s. Those things were heavy. Great shoe though. And once they broke in, they just feel the best way to describe it is they feel super smooth from heel to toe, super smooth. And then that 4-foot cushion, for me at least, I can feel it, and I love how bouncy it feels. I feel like it's just, this is the type of Zoom Air that I fell in love with as a kid. When I put them on, I was like, oh my God, they feel like springs. That's what these feel like. They're not jump out the gym kind of springs, but they are a noticeable small spring underneath your 4-foot. I'd totally dig it.
Would you say it's cozy?
Cozy?
Yeah.
Is that what is the cozy thing?
That's how they were showing it on Instagram, where the big monster exploded out of the bottom of the shoe.
I would not, because cozy to me is snuggly. These 4-foot strap things, that's where the cozy comes from. For me, I wouldn't consider cushion cozy. I don't snuggle with cushion. Maybe Nike missed the mark on the marketing for that one. I'm not sure. Now, the materials on this particular colorway are better than than the pairs that I have already tried out, which was the NASA super cheap materials, in my opinion. If you have the colorway, don't get triggered, okay? I'm just telling you my opinion. If you have a different opinion, that's okay. And then the Black History Month had more of like a canvas, very stiff. I did not like that either. These guys have still a cheap mesh, but it feels good on foot once broken in. The theme of the day is breaking the shoes in. You really got to put some work into these because they just don't feel right from like the jump for me, at least. Just for me. Maybe not for you, but for me. But I like the materials once they broke in. Everything's been holding up pretty nicely. They're dirty. There's a little bit of fraying on some of the high wear areas. That's okay though, because they are high wear areas for that particular reason. You do not hoop in basketball shoes and expect them to look pristine when you're done. But overall, I do like the materials and how they performed. I just feel that the other colorways were kind of like a miss as far as like overall quality is concerned. This shoe in general, still kind of a miss, especially comparing it to the 1 and the 2. But in terms of overall performance, not really much to complain about. Now the fit on these guys, go true to size. They are suffocatingly tight at first. I just gotta say, I try to half a size down, I try to half a size up. The half a size down was way too freaking tight. The half a size up, my heel, no matter how tight I was tying them, was popping right out of the shoe. I don't like how that feels. So I went true to size. They fit 1-to-1. Again, very uncomfortable at first, but they break in. The weird thing though is that I was getting a ton of pain underneath my feet, underneath this lockdown thing. And I was thinking that it would have happened where this rubber piece is, but it was all right here. I don't know what the deal was. It was on both shoes as well. So my feet, the very first time that I used these, man, they were just, man, I just did not have a good time, dude. And then the next night, it was just, again, a little bit better. Night after that, a little bit better. So once I stuck with them, they broke in really nicely. Again, if that happens to you, just stick with them. They will kind of like soften up and break in and widen a little bit and all that stuff. But again, suffocatingly tight just to start. Some people like that, which I typically do, but this was even for me like a little bit too tight. However, once they broke in, they've been feeling great on foot. I love everything from the lacing to the little lockdown flaps to the back of the collar. I have no real complaints other than the break-in process was kind of brutal. Now the lockdown on the shoe, again, because it is so tight, was pretty good. A little bit too tight to start, but once they broke in, very nice. I, again, love these lockdown wings. I think that these should be implemented more on more sneakers, whether it's at the front or at the collar. I don't know if you guys remember the LeBron 9s, but they had lockdown wings in the rear that drew your foot into the rear of the shoe. Those were awesome. So I just really like when these types of things are used. I think that they work really well, especially if you're a 4-foot player and you need that right here in the 4-foot. I think that that's great. It's right there for you. It's got your back, especially with a softer material like this mesh. You need a little bit more reinforcement there. These things have you covered. Lockdown from the midfoot back, again, for me, perfect, going true to size. Half a size down was way too tight, half a size up, too loose. So true to size, you should be good. Now the support on the shoes, pretty average, nothing to really like boast about. It's got everything that you need in there. It's got an internal heel counter, no real outrigger, but that's what this little like rubber piece is right there. It's supposed to make it so that that softer foam doesn't crunch and break on lateral movements. It does a great job of that. Again, not really an outrigger. I would have liked to have seen this be a little bit wider because of that. The base is fairly flat. Again, not too wide. I would have liked a little bit more width in the 4-foot, but it works well for what it is. And then the overall fit, the way that everything like locks you down, keeps you on the footbed, keeps you in the back of the shoe, into that internal heel counter, works beautifully. I think it's awesome. I believe there's an internal shank as well, like a little bar. Not anything crazy, but I didn't notice any like torsional issues. And that pretty much takes care of it for these guys right here. I do recommend the shoe. I just want to reiterate, when you first put them on, some people are going to love them right off the bat. That's just the way that things work. But there's going to be some people that wear these, like myself, who are going to be like, man, what the hell did I get myself into? I just spent 110 bucks on some sneakers and they hurt. Just give them some time. Buy them from Nike, if anything else, because they have that 30-day like wear test policy, which is really cool. And so if you buy them from Nike and you don't like them within 30 days, because they broke in for me well within 30 days. I've had these for a little over a week now, and I've been wearing them pretty much every time I play. It's only taken me about 3 or 4 nights to make them feel great. Give them some time. If you don't like them, just send them back, and at least you had the experience and you didn't waste the money on them. So that's always a plus. But again, for me, I really like the shoe after breaking them in. I think that everything is very much well-rounded. The only thing that I would say to like boost things up is just like widen it just a little bit, just a tad. That initial, like the pain and everything, especially the one under the foot, that's uncomfortable, man, and I did not like that. I would still say that the 3 is a step back material-wise from the previous 2, but in terms of overall performance, it might be kind of like on par with the 1. Best cushion to date so far, though, in the PG line, in my opinion. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all the support. If you need any more information, all you got to do is click the link in the description box below. It's going to head you over to WearTesters.com, where their weight and their score is going to be listed. Thank you once again for watching, and until next time, guys, have a good one.
Can you say the traction name again?
The moon landing?
Is that what it's actually called, or is that a you thing?
What do you mean?
You make up names for things.
So you think I just made that
So
up?
I'm asking, is it the official?
I mean, I don't know if they like say on the description of the product like moon landing traction, but I mean, it's craters for the moon.
Just because every time you say moon landing traction, it makes me think of this episode of Modern Family where Cam and the dad, they go into the gym and they're changing and they both like dropped their towels and they bend over and their butts hit each other. And Cam goes, oh, us in the gay community, we call that moon landing. So every time you're like moon landing traction, like I'm just thinking.
It's butt to butt traction. I don't believe I made that up. I think it's moon landing traction. Maybe I did make it up. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I didn't. I would take credit for it. You know what I mean? Like if I feel like I made that, I would definitely say something, but I don't think I did.